And very many thanks for joining us yet once again. It's that time of the week. And remember, every time it's Wednesday, it's all about the desk here on U24 Television. My name is Shadrach Shagaf Kisame. And guess what? It's once again that time where we are in the corridors of power. I get privileged to sit down with the Eastern Uganda Youth Member of Parliament, the Honorable Benard Odoi, and we're going to be discussing youth entrepreneurship. Now, youth entrepreneurship is one of those remedies that have come as a result of youth unemployment. So a lot of Ugandans, as I always say, start up businesses, but these businesses never see their first birthday. Now, I investigate in the corridors of power to find out what government or youth leadership is doing to make sure that these businesses actually go over and over for a long time. But if you are a youth, you better sit back, relax, better lean forward, or even stand up. Many thanks for joining us today, Honorable.
Pleasure, always a pleasure.
Thank you very much. We appreciate. We don't take your time for granted.
We are here to serve, and any opportunity to serve our country is really welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, the people that follow me on the desk on U24 Television are mostly youths, and they would want to know, because there's a myth going on that, okay, the leaders don't care. I think let's start there.
Well, I agree with them, though not to a large extent. I agree with them to 40%. Why? Because leaders are few in number. Leaders get first-hand information.
Right.
If government is trying to bake something for the country, or maybe specifically for the young people,
Yes, sir.
it starts with the leadership. It starts at policy levels. All this is boiled, discussed, everything is served by the leaders.
Right.
And so the 40%
Where you agree.
Yes. Is that it is incumbent upon leaders to ensure this same information, first, before you discuss the same information, you have to do research and engage the young people. My constituency starts from Jinja to Katakwi, over 43 districts. Now, there is no way I will make an informed deliberation at policy level if I've not taken time to move around Busoga, to move around Bugisu, to move around Bukedi, to move around Teso, to move around Karamoja, or Mbarara, or Gulo, or Buganda.
Right.
There's no way I will think ahead of for everyone else.
Yeah.
We are gifted differently.
Correct.
So this is the missing gap, that quite often we leaders think for the people who have given us the mandate. So that is where I agree to 40%. That there's a missing link. We ought to go back to the field, have a conversation with the young people. Those who are educated, those who are not educated, those who are employed, those who are not employed. We need to understand what is really happening. After getting that information, then we come, and that should form the policy of the country. Also, when policy has been done, it is incumbent upon us leaders to again go back to the same people who gave us the mandate. That now, as government, as leaders, we have agreed on this.
Okay.
This is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
We've been having very many amazing projects.
Right.
YWP. But when you meet a random young person in the village in Molanda, they are not aware of this. They don't know what they are supposed to do.
Who is supposed to make sure they know this information?
Of course, it is us leaders to ensure that this information, we push government to ensure there's publicity, sufficient publicity. There's sufficient communication. Not communication at our level where we sit in parliament, then you think someone in Katakwi is aware of this. The other challenge is mode of communication. Deliberations are done in English. Quite a huge number of our people are not educated. They cannot read and write. Even those who are educated, they might not have the ease of access to this information.
But now, Honorable, you make a very important point that the discussions at parliament level are in English.
Yes.
The people you represent, some of them may not be literate.
Yes.
So some of them never understand what is happening.
They might not actually understand the parliamentary language. That is why it is incumbent upon us, the elected leaders, to push government to appropriate resources such that the policy that we formulate is translated into our local dialect.
Right.
Such that, because it is very easy for our people to actually read the local dialect.
Right.
Furthermore, we have radio stations across the country.
Yeah.
We need to have a system where whatever has been agreed upon, there's a budget and deliberate program to ensure the same is communicated in the local language. We have airtime, dubbed RDC airtime, in every district, in every region.
Yeah.
But quite often we only discuss about politics. Rarely do we use this airtime to educate our young people about the projects, about the opportunities available. So for me, the 40% that I agree with them on the laps of leaders, that is the justification.
Wow, impressive. You know that is really insightful. Now, going back to the people that you represent, which is actually over 80%, the population of Ugandans are youth. They are below 30, and I believe even in your constituency, a lot of those are below 30, and they are trying, to start up businesses every day, small-scale businesses every day, but these businesses usually never, take the test of time.
True. A few years ago, the International Entrepreneurship Monitor ranked Uganda as among the top 3, the most entrepreneurial countries in the world.
Yes.
The same report also confirms that the businesses that we start does not live to see the first birth date.
Correct.
Now, where is the challenge? The challenge are things, especially for the young people. Things like taxation. Government. You start your business today, at the end of the month, government wants taxes.
You've not made any money yet.
You've not made any money yet. You've not reached break-even point.
Yes.
Now, you also find that the tools of trade are very expensive. The taxes, we have direct taxes that you have to pay A, B, C, D because you are doing business.
The municipal council, those things.
Trading license, VAT, pay as you earn, NSSF. That is a lot of money for a startup. Yet, we have investors who come to this country.
And they're given tax
holidays.
They are
given tax holidays. This should be actually our big discussion in Parliament in this second year. We must push government to ensure there's tax holiday for our young entrepreneurs. The other time we took a research and we confirmed that the tools of trade, even the basic tools that a young person would need for them to produce for commercial level is taxed. We don't have money to chip in these tools. The investors will come. They have tax holiday. They bring in the machines here. They sell to us expensively.
Right. Honorable, on that point of taxation policy, I want to go for a short break. When we come back, you enlighten us more and what you people are actually doing to sort that nightmare. But do not go away. I'm still with the Honorable Benard Odoi. He represents the Eastern region for the youths. Do not go away. We're coming back. We are still on the road. We are in the office of the Youth Member of Parliament, Eastern Region, the Honorable Benard Odoi. I'm telling you, we're sharing very insightful things. Now, we left off with the taxation policy, but you can follow this very lovely discussion on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Do that for Shadrach Kisame and do that for U24 Television. Honorable, we were still talking about people who come here and they are given tax holidays. And Shadrach, I have my 2 million.
Yeah, I can give you examples, very many. You have Shadrach here, a Ugandan, a young man, has toiled and saved 2-3 million.
Yes.
They start a project, maybe carpentry and joinery.
Yeah.
They have registered the business. he lobbies to supply maybe desks in a school.
Yes.
And the budget is 30 million. Shadrach has 3 million. Shadrach then runs to a commercial bank.
Yes.
Where the interest rate is 26%. As if that is not enough, they want land title. Shadrach is the son of a peasant. Naomi Sama is the daughter of a peasant. The father had some cows, which was sold to take Shadrach to school. Shadrach has squeezed and saved money. He's renting where he lives.
Yes.
He's renting where he's doing his business.
Yes.
And now the bank wants land title for someone who's just renting. The father is in the village somewhere because the majority, 95% of our youth, the parents are struggling.
Yes.
Now, how do you expect Shadrach to actually progress? That is why I have actually issue with Buy Uganda, Build Uganda. You want Shadrach to supply, but you're not empowering him. You are empowering a foreigner who will come here with some money. You give them free land. You give them tax holiday. They are able to even beat the system.
Yes.
They exploit our young people with feigned employment.
Yes.
There is nothing like employment from this industry.
Before you continue, you make an important point. Is that a check for Bubu? That, hey, you've not empowered the Ugandans. What are they going to build?
Yes, because I can give you an example. Me and several young people were involved during the COVID fight. We did our services and we're purchasing some items from within. But most of these items would buy from the so-called investors very expensively, yet they don't pay taxes. If you go to our industrial parks,
yes,
I can give you an example here in Namamve. I can also give you an example in Mbale, which is my region.
Yeah.
There should be a deliberate program by government that where there's an industrial park, there should be a portion for young people. These young people should be empowered. Give them tax holiday at least 5 years. Give them tools of trade. If they are engaged in furniture, carpentry and joinery,
yes,
give them the machinery. You don't need to give them cash. Give them the machinery.
The actual things.
Yes. Then also segment the local supplies. Why should an investor who has come from a foreign country is benefiting from all the waivers supply my local school in Mulanda, in Barara, in Gulo? Why? Why not empower Shadrach, Odoi, Chris, Stanley, Naomi, Immaculate, Prosi, so and so? Empower them, put them in a group, don't give them money. Identify the skills they might be holding. Give them more training and exposure, apprenticeship. If you go down to Katwe here,
very talented young people.
Very talented young people. They didn't even sit for PLOE. A graduate cannot match them in these technical services.
Yes, they're practical.
Yes, they're practical. This is what the country needs. Government cannot absorb everyone in full employment.
Right.
But when our generation gets the empowerment, I believe we will serve this country better. Another reference I can make, we are talking of building pipelines very soon.
Yes.
The bulk of the pipeline work is going to be welding.
Yes.
You don't need to go through university to get a diploma or a degree for you to be a good welder. We know 90% of the welders in our country here. Go down Kampala, go to every region, you'll find these guys didn't even sit for senior 4. But through experience, they've mastered the art. We need to identify them, give them apprenticeship training, certify their skills, and create for them an avenue. If we don't do that, we'll be shocked to find so-called investors getting these contracts and not giving these contracts to our local people,
Ugandans, yes,
who would then be empowered, get money, invest here, and the country economically will grow.
Honorable, I had an expert, a consultant, and we were discussing the oil pipeline, and we were talking about such things, and the argument was, Ugandans are not thorough, they may do substandard work. So that was his argument, because I was thinking the same way.
Which I disagree with. The best, if you are saying Uganda is substandard, it is incumbent upon government. We've seen incidences where people are identified here, flown, the military, the police, civil service. We've seen where someone is picked
and they taken,
and
they're refined.
They come back.
Yes.
Have we taken that path and they have failed? No, we've not taken that path. So we must push government that if it is about pipeline, how many of our young people have you identified, trained, exposed, and prepared for the subsequent contract that is coming? Such that even when you have given, say, a contract to an investor, you can dictate and say, all the welders must be citizens of this country. In the contract, it should be clear. There should be a clause clearly spelling out. You can even tell the contractor that before you take on this contract, we are giving you this number of young people. Train them because they are citizens of this country, because this oil is from this country, because they must benefit.
And Honorable, now, do we have government lawyers that really care to make sure these clauses are actually put there and implemented?
The government lawyers actually wait for the policy. I think this still shifts on to the politicians. The technical team can bring in their ideas. I can give an example of the Vinci coffee thing. Parliament disagreed with it, and our good president agreed to amend it. And that's the good president we have. So if the president can give the country, parliament, ear on that coffee deal, I believe as leaders at parliament, we can still push and say, Your Excellency, or the technical team managing our petroleum, this is the suggestion. If this company has been given contract for the oil pipeline, we want to know the workforce. Are they going to be local people, or they will be foreigners who will be doing even the donkey works? If we can't do that, we can't be competitive at the East African level. If we are talking of East African community, then we must also prepare our workforce. If we don't prepare our workforce going forward, because the projection of the oil industry is maybe 80 years. 80 years is a long period of time to actually empower this generation and the generation to come. So ours is to push. As leaders, we must demand who has taken the contract. Is there a clause commanding them to include the local workforce?
But
in this?
Honorable, you at policy level, you can do your job, toil it out, sweat it out, but then when it comes to implementation, this company is going away with hiring expatriates.
No, but they if it's included in one of the clauses, you can seek redress in court. That would be breach. That would amount to breach. And also, because Parliament does appropriation of money on behalf of government, then Parliament has the mandate to say, if they don't do this, then we will not appropriate resources to pay them. Because Parliament appropriate resources, that this money will be used to pay the contractor doing XYZ.
Right.
So Parliament has that role of also checks.
Because
Parliament can go and check and confirm, are they doing what was agreed on or not?
Because we have so many investors, without even fearing or anything, investors come and the clauses are there. We are going to give Ugandans jobs. A few years down the road, Ugandans are only cleaners.
There's a lot of exploitation. That is where I agreed to
the 40%.
The 40%. And that is where now, as a leader at national level, I call upon myself and the entire legislative arm of government. And also leaders in their respective capacities. LC5 and your team, LC3 and your team, City Hall here, and also the technical team, that you're giving service to your country. This is our country. If we can't empower our young people, if we can't empower our own countrymen, then we are losing the focus. So mine is to call upon myself and the rest of my colleagues that let's take it upon ourselves to ensure we redirect the country to where we want. If there's an investor not doing the right thing, we have all the space to call them to order. There's nowhere where Parliament can say we want to do inspection in, say, this factory or this manufacturing plant or this business.
One, you can't say
no.
no.
You can't say no. At least we've seen where MPs, the other time in our first year of Parliament, you remember the story of Soroti Fruit Factory.
Yes, the fruits, yes.
There's a big report that members of Parliament brought, and a lot of rot was unearthed. And now I believe going forward, that factory is going to be immunized.
It will be checked.
So
Honorable, our time is really fast spent, but people and Ugandans are understanding what you're saying, and it's insightful. I want us to go for a short break, but after the break, I want us to discuss, because your narrative is we are supposed to do something so that these youths here get what they ought to get. But
I apportion responsibilities. Leaders must do their part, government must do their part, and also the young
youth,
people, the youth must do their part.
In the last part now, I want now you to talk to a youth after the break, how they position themselves. Yes. Now do not go away, it's getting heated up in here, but remember we are on the road in the office of the Honorable Youth Member of Parliament, Eastern Uganda. Do not go away. Boy, oh boy, now if you're just joining us, I'm afraid you've missed two quite insightful segments of this very lovely episode of The Desk, where we are in the office of the Honorable Member of Parliament, Youth, Eastern Region, the Honorable Benard Odoi, where we're discussing so much. And I'm telling you, this man is very honest. He's actually hitting the nail on the head with politicians, government, everyone, or every stakeholder who is supposed to make the youth get a service that they were elected or put in office for. But you can follow this live discussion on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, this is the last segment. You have to sit back and relax. Bear, lean forward, or even stand up, because the Honorable is talking to the youth that he represents. Now, Honorable, I want you to look in that camera and elaborate to a youth, what are they supposed to do? How do they position themselves with these things that you people are doing at your level?
Well, for starters, I come from entrepreneurship background. I am a garbage collector in this country. And that is entrepreneurship.
Yes.
A business that I started using a bicycle. Using a bicycle, going to people's residences to collect garbage at a modest fee of 1,000 shilling. So many years ago.
Wow.
Today, I still do garbage collection.
Even till today?
Yes. And we are employing close to 50 people.
Wow.
I am talking this to encourage someone.
Yes.
But you could be doing chapati business somewhere.
Yes.
Could be frying maybe chips in the evening, selling puta somewhere. Don't lose hope, because today things are tough. I want to challenge each one of us that the best way, actually the richest people in this country are entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs, that's correct.
The richest people in the world are entrepreneurs.
That's correct.
Entrepreneurship is the shortcut to economic empowerment. At policy level, as leaders, I promise with my colleagues, the fellow youth MPs, to do what we can to make it favorable for you. I want to challenge fellow young people that even when government comes with programs, projects, where you would ordinarily get some resource, you need to be very prepared, you need to be very accountable. If you're doing business and you cannot explain how much you made in the last 1 week, in the last 1 month, and the direction of your business, then there's something missing.
Even without government, you will fail.
Even without government. Actually, the first government is yourself.
Yourself, right.
Before you cry that what has government done for us, what have you done for your own business?
Wow.
Are you able to calculate that today I spent 20,000, I bought tomatoes, I have made 40,000. Have you bothered to ensure that you've saved a certain portion of that money.
All right, but is that a skill you get in school?
You don't. You don't.
Because I might have an excuse. I didn't go to school.
No. I did this when I was a senior 4 graduate. I did not attend any college when I was starting this. For heaven's sake, I had actually failed to raise fees. There was no fees for me to continue. So I worked as a porter, bought a bicycle, started collecting garbage. From a bicycle, now we have trucks. It's out there. Ben City is employing people. I want to encourage our fellow young people that if you have a project, the beginning is normally very tough.
Yes.
But it is the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is the ability for you to persevere, is the ability for you to save something for the next day. You could be making a profit of 10,000, yet you actually consume 10,000 a day. Those days when we had just started business, I would collect in a day 10,000 shilling, but I would ensure I save the money. I save at least half of it because I was using my own energy. I was using a bike. I was not hiring anyone. The challenge we have is you start business today. You want to hire Odoi to come and work for you. You want to hire Shadrach to come and work for you. You want to hire Amina. We want to be bossy. And the greatest mistake we have is actually with graduates. You find Shadrach, because he has a degree, he thinks he cannot have a chapati kiosk. He thinks
it's
a guy downtown in Owino who is cutting Ndibota is actually a sign of illiteracy. The guy downtown might be making actually a lot of money.
That's not cool. It's not. It's not cool. It's not at my level.
This thing, it's not cool. How will they look at me? The question is, how do they look at you when poverty is hitting you? Poverty does not know your height, your color, your education level. It knows what do you put to fight it. You put more fire, poverty will melt into money. You don't put enough fire, it will melt into more fire to keep burning you. We have a very peaceful country.
Yes.
I have moved across East African countries. I've also moved outside Africa. But Uganda is a very peaceful country.
Yes.
Just recently, me and my few colleagues, we started some projects in Chireka there, where we identified young people, we make some chapati, and 2 months business has peaked. Chapati, just chapati.
What about your level?
At my level.
At your level.
Actually, our next interview, if you want to interview me, next time I don't want the office interview.
Office set.
I want to go where we are baking something.
I would want
where we have a butchery preparing something.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship is about looking at a challenge. It might be personal. It might be within your small community. It might be wider. Then you bring the solution. That is entrepreneurship for me. Identify what problem you have and what solution you might be looking for. Look within your colleagues.
Right.
Is it ICT? Is it medical? Is it technical? Is it food? You can always do something.
Honorable, the $1 million question before I wind up is, at your level with your colleagues, aren't you afraid that some of them have big businesses and for you, chapati and garbage collection?
No, actually, that illusion of big business has costed the majority of us. You go to a bank because you are excited, because you are employed with the UBC, because you are a member of parliament, you pick a big loan, without any plan prior, without any experience prior. Best businesses are built from down, process by process going up. You don't get a lot of money and say, Shadrach is having a stall here, is making this, let me also hire this and do this. No, start small, grow. Where it requires money, add. Where it does not require money, reduce. Look for another opportunity.
Right.
So I don't believe in this because I'm a member of parliament, I cannot do this. Actually, the big money is in small, seemingly funny businesses like food, Go downtown here. Go to Nakasero here. I have friends there, graduates, who have stalls for tomatoes, cabbages, what? They supply hotels, they supply now homes. It's about creativity.
Yes.
Whatever business you're doing, someone else is doing. How creative are you? What is the value addition you're adding?
Yes.
What will prompt Shadrach to come back tomorrow? Customer care.
Yes.
Quality service.
Yes.
That is what you need. That is what is lacking.
Right. So, Honorable, before I let you go, there is a young girl probably in Walukuba Onamulesa in Jinja. They are graduates, they've looked for a job, they failed, and they decided to start a small restaurant, but her peers have office jobs. What do you even tell her? And her family thinks she's a failure. What is your communication to such a girl?
The peers who have office jobs eat food every day. Whether salary has come or not, they eat food every day. So I am encouraging the other ones in food business that even those who are not working, they will need food. And so I encourage them that you are in the right path, because for those who are working, for those who are not working, they will still come and eat food. You only have to have value for money. You only have to have good customer care. And I would want to encourage, if you're in food business, like Shadrach has indicated, think of food supplies. Go to the factory around, go to the school around, and tell them, if you have parties, maybe end of year parties for your candidate classes, I offer outside catering services. I'm also encouraging them that government has come up with projects. Like Myoga is still there.
Yes.
Go and pursue this. Get this money, empower yourself, supply business to anyone, supply food. To the community around you.
Right.
And if you do the right thing, few years down the road, the person who is actually employed somewhere might lose that job.
Yes.
Or the salary might be stagnant when you have the freedom to actually catapult it even 100 times, depending on how aggressive you are to get more clients.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I am looking forward to the interview where we are going on the road, in the field, where we see you in action, because this would be remarkable, very remarkable. Thank you very much for sitting down with us.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
We salute everyone. Let's join hands and work and serve this country. There's a lot of money in this country. Use your lenses to look for the money. It's there.
All right. Thank you very much. Now that has been the Honorable Benard Odoi. He is the Youth Member of Parliament for the Eastern region of Uganda. And I'm telling you, this man, his entrepreneurship is inspirational. By the time I leave this chair, I would want to go and start up with something, either with Stanley or Chris. But from me and the entire 24 management would like to say good night, good luck, adios for God and my country. May the good Lord bless this beautiful Uganda. Now until next week, same place, same time, of course, same host. Good night.